Well, some people might think that Josh Allen is Superman, and I would have to say, those people are definitely right. Even down to the fact that he has a kryptonite in the Kansas City Chiefs in playoff games. Where else did the season go wrong? Let's go ahead and take a look back at the Buffalo Bills 2023 season to find out. So Buffalo had very high expectations entering the 2023 season as the Bills were fresh off the heartbreaking playoff loss at home last season against the Bengals. So their goal this season was to do everything they could to make sure that that would not happen again. And starting off the season for the Bills, they got off to a rough start against the Jets week 1, but the Jets were playing with a lot of emotion. Aaron Rodgers just went down with a season-ending Achilles tear, and the Jets were trying to rally around Rodgers. So I'll excuse that one because the Jets were playing, a lot of emotion in New York. And after that Jets game, they started to look good. They rattled off their next 3 games, including a win at home over the Dolphins. And they even played the Jaguars pretty close. They lost by 5, but they played them very close. And the Jags, keep in mind, at the beginning of the season, were expected to be a close and competitive and hard-fought team. They basically thought the South was theirs to lose. So you were going up against a considered playoff team there. After this game, though, the Bills would not be the same for a long time. They barely beat out the Giants, winning 14-9 before losing to the Patriots of all teams. And after this, they squeaked out a win over the Buccaneers, once again another close one, but then lost to a struggling Bengals team and a Broncos team that was still trying to find their identity. And it was at this time that change was desperately needed in Buffalo. So the one consequence, offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey got fired after that Broncos game. This change was huge for the Bills. It was season defining. The Bills were struggling before this, but almost immediately they got a lot better on offense. The offense was not held back, and they ended November with a win over the Jets and a tight loss to the Eagles, who were still considered to be a playoff team and a Super Bowl potential contender. Entering December, though, the Bills were storming back into the AFC East race. Sitting at 6-6 while the Dolphins were still way ahead, they were starting to struggle and starting to fall off a little bit. And at this point, with 5 games left for the Bills, anything was possible. And they proved that by ending the season with an incredible 5-game win streak to finish at 11-6 and win the AFC East. This win streak set them up with a date with Pittsburgh in the wildcard round. Now, it took a few extra days to get played because of the weather and all that, but the Bills ended up winning. It was a tighter one than it probably should have been throughout the whole game, but they did separate at the end, winning 31-17, setting them up with a date once again with the Kansas City Chiefs for the 3rd time in 4 years in the playoffs. This game did live up to the hype, but once again, the Bills suffered another tough playoff loss to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, dropping Josh Allen to 0-3 versus Mahomes in the playoffs. Now, there were other factors about this game. The Bills did have a lot of key injuries on defense that did really hurt them a bit, but overall, they just did not play up where they needed to play up. So, where do the Bills go from here? Well, I'm starting to wonder if this is more of a problem at the top with the Bills as opposed to a problem with the players. There have been ramblings for a while now from Bills Mafia to fire Sean McDermott, and his seat should definitely be hot at this point if it's not been already, as he has been a regular season success but a postseason failure. The Bills are 4-6 under McDermott in the playoffs and have only made the AFC Championship once, dating back to 2020 when they lost to the Chiefs. The only problem with this is that it is tough to fire a coach who is consistently getting you to the playoffs and consistently getting you to the divisional round. McDermott has only missed a divisional round 3 times with the Bills, the last time being in 2019. They missed it 2017, 2018, and 2019. 2018, they missed the playoffs. 2017 and 2019, they lost in the wild card round. But ever since, they have been divisional round locks every single season. The only problem is that desperate times call for desperate measures, and Bills Mafia is starting to get desperate for some more postseason success. They're tired of the status quo divisional round exit. So the Bills Mafia want McDermott gone. They want a change. And I could see a change being beneficial, but it is a very high risk-reward situation for the Bills. You fire McDermott and bring someone else in there, that next person might not be able to get you to the playoffs consistently year in and year out. I think, personally, I would rather take a divisional round lock every single season than, having a season where we go to the AFC Championship, then we go 7-10, and I'd much rather have that stability. But I can see the frustration coming out of Bills Mafia. And overall, I wish the best for the Bills, but I do not envy their spot, especially the spot of the executives. They are stuck between a rock and a hard place.